There's a good reason why I brought you all the way out here. If the cockatoos will let me speak. Let's get the other side of the sun here. In Australia, because there's an abundance of wood, the vast majority of power poles and telegraph poles are wood. So I've got, we had new power lines put in here, and we had one of the power poles or telegraph poles taken out and a new metal one put in. So and I had it chopped up to do something with one day, so I think the time has come to make a telegraph pole bowl.
So we start making this bowl by choosing the best piece of the log and marking out where I'm going to make a saw cut and cutting it through. Beautiful piece of wood, not very many cracks at all, and don't know how old it is. This property was actually built, I think, about 32 years ago, so it's probably been in the ground since then. And I think it's 2 years ago that we put a new one in. So here I am preparing the log, taking off most of the waste, and it makes it easier when you put it on the lathe to machine. So I'm taking off the chuck and putting it on with the large faceplate. So the first job is to take off all the high spots, and look, I'm using a bowl gouge. I use a bowl gouge 90% of the time. So taking off all the high spots and trimming it all down and I'm not really sure what sort of shape the bowl is going to be at this stage. The wood normally sort of tells you what shape it's going to be, because it normally has inclusions or cracks or something in it, and by machining those out will give you the the overall shape of the bowl. So you don't normally have a definite shape in mind when you get a piece of wood and put it on the lathe. The wood will make up its own mind what shape it's going to be. So what I'm doing here is, well, I was shaping the neck of the bowl. So I've sort of roughed out a bit of material there, and I'm scraping here. And this is sort of like the, oh, now I'm taking the base out, flattening that out, and then that will give me some idea of what the overall base of the shape's going to be. And there we are. So now I'm using a scraper to take all the tool marks out. That's a fairly good tool to do that. And now removing the boss off the bottom. We're coming up to an interesting spot in a minute. When I take this off, I get a pair of calipers and mark out the size of the tenon that I want. Mortise, actually. And what the secret behind using those is you just use one leg and score the material. Don't use the other one. Just use the other one as a sight. Otherwise, you put two in, and is going to dig in and fly out across the workshop. So that's the secret behind that. So there's a mortise for my large chuck. Now for hollowing the bowl out, I use a combination of push cut and pull cut with a bowl gouge. Now I know a lot of people do tend to use those methods, but and a lot of so-called professionals say that you shouldn't use a push cut when you're sort of hollowing a bowl out, but I find it works pretty well. Got the lathe wound up pretty fast now. It's doing about 850 RPM, and I take this bowl out quite thin, actually. Thin for me anyway. I don't normally like making thin wall bowls, but I took this one out fairly thin, and it turned out very nice actually. Very nice for an old telegraph bowl anyway. I was really pleased with the end result of this bowl, so I put some fairly clear finish on, and as you can see, it's a really nice rich textured bowl, and yes, very pleased with it. Thank you for joining me for this bowl turning from the telegraph pole. So
that's it for another video, and please subscribe to my channel, press like, and a lot of you know now that I do wood turning on this channel, CNC routing, a little bit of laser work, and CNC mill work. So until next time, thank you for watching, and bye for now.